Hey everyone, welcome to the Heroes World podcast. I am here with John, Andre, and Rob.
Hey guys.
Want to thank everyone for your support and watching our videos. We've been looking at the comments and whatnot. We appreciate all the support you guys are giving. Again, feel free to comment below. Let us know your thoughts on the topics today. And I'm sure one of us will comment back. Most likely it'll be John. So that's what it is. So as always, I want to first do the shout out to the fine folks at Heroes World, which is John and Andre. So before we begin our topics, Andre, John, where can we find more information about you guys on the social medias?
Facebook page is probably the most active, most up to date. So hit that up, Heroes World Online, Facebook/Heroes World Online, where you can look us up. And then this YouTube channel, we got a lot of old content on there, and we'll try to push some of the new videos over there. And then you'll find, yeah. And then you'll find me on Instagram under jho.heroesworld.
Andre?
Yeah, pretty much what John said, but also keep in mind that we still have a brick and mortar store. You can reach out to us via our email. We've got two of them, so you can check them out. One is heroesworldonline@yahoo.ca, and the other one is sales.heroesworld@gmail.com, right, John?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And listen, if you're listening to this and it's just give us a holler. Unfortunately, we're building our website right now, but just reach out to us. We'll make recommendations. We still got a ton of good stuff in the store. Yeah, anything that we can do to help you pass the time during this quarantine, we'll be happy to do it. Yeah, check us out there. But yeah, the Facebook page, you're going to find the most information.
So just as a reminder, at the store, there's comic books, there are board games, if you want to release your inner Henry Cavill and paint miniatures, they got a whole bunch of stuff available for you guys, and action figures and whatnot.
It's Star Wars. We've got Monster Apocalypse. We got tons and tons of.
If you had the inner need
Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
Yep. D&D for your virtual D&D games, dice. If you ever had the need to build your Gundam perfect style, now is the time, because they also have that. So if you want to live stream your own Gundam build, I recommend that. It's good times. I watched someone do that the other day, so that's me now. So yeah, I recommend. There's a lot of fun stuff there. But again, if there's any recommendations that you want, John and Andre will be being more active, putting stuff on to show what kind of stuff they have, and you can please support your local comic book store and support Heroes World. Everyone will appreciate it. And finally, from Rob, where can they find more from you, Rob, at this standpoint?
Twitter and Instagram. It's all at Rob Gaudette, ROBGAUDETTE. Big shout out to my one new follower, Stu.
yeah. Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
Yay!
Yeah, and a shout out to our mutual friend Laura. Hello.
Hey!
Okay, so
watch out for the golf balls.
Yeah, golf balls. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing that story. Yeah, I was on a call with her the other day. It was good times. Okay, so we're gonna jump into some topics today. The news has come out that Disney is in rough shape. Unfortunately, Andre, John, and myself and Rob are just short of the money necessary to buy the Disney empire. We're like a few dollars short. We have $1 billion, but not 2 or 3 required to buy the company flat out. So they are, like everyone, in a rush to build content. So Disney Plus is right now their golden child, and ESPN and everything else from cruises and, no surprise, amusement parks are down low. So they are in a crunch to make some television shows for Disney Plus. So I have tasked all of us today to do consultancy work for them. So we'll bill you guys later, but to give a pitch on Disney Plus shows that would be great for the network that they can start putting together in the future. So we're going to do it similar to last time. We're going to have each of us go around. It will be Rob, John, Andre, and myself. We will not do the same ones. We'll try to do some different. So if you
That'd
see
be crazy
John
if we
and
came up with
me,
the same ideas.
Yeah, John and if you see Andre, John, and me just sit there going with our eyes open, going, "Oh God, what do we pick next?" It's pick what we want to do. But again, ideally, this property is something that's suitable for Disney Plus. So that is the thing. So it has to be kid friendly. So don't roll in with a aliens television show on Disney Plus, because that is not going to do. So I will strike you down, and you will not come up stronger than you were before if you do something inappropriate. So Rob, start us off with your pitch to the Bobs. And if you had
Rob.
your way, a Disney Plus television show, do the large library of stuff. What is a good Disney Plus television show that could be, reformatted from a movie or a pre-existing television show from the Disney archives?
Let me just say, going first sucks on this one, because
what are you talking about? I would love to go first.
I'll go.
No,
I'll go.
No, because, and also, listen, we all sit at home or we all chat, when we do this stuff, and we're like, oh, I have like the perfect TV show, a perfect movie. But when push comes to shove, the difficulty I found was that Marvel has announced so many projects, right? Like you could say, oh, I want to do a Moon Knight show, and it's already in development. Or I want to do a Kamala Khan show, and it's already in development. Or how about a She-Hulk? She-Hulk's already in development. So there are so many things that were tough to choose from. So
this doesn't have to be Marvel. It could be anything. It could be Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. This is up to you.
Starring John and Andre.
Because I remember that show fondly. One was clearly Indiana Jones, and the other one was Magnum PI. So
That's right.
This is where we're at. So from that, I think Andre would be Magnum, and John would be Indiana Jones. So that would how it would work. But yes, I'm stalling for you, Rob, to come up with a few more minutes to come up with a Disney Plus show.
I have something, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I wrote it at 12:03 last night,
Nice.
but I chose the character Darkhawk.
I love Darkhawk.
Yeah, and so I thought he was kind of obscure, and nobody else.
Is it the movie you want to do, or the TV show?
No, the TV show. No,
okay, Darkhawk TV show. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now,
give us the pitch. Give us the pitch.
Okay, so it's got dual storylines. Okay. So as we know, like the character, he puts on this armor. He gets his armor from it's alien tech, right? We can tie that into the Jatari and whatnot. Okay, but he puts on this alien tech, and it's almost like a robot sentient armor. But what if the robot and the AI, his consciousness when he puts the armor on gets popped over to an AI, and he has to essentially every time he's got that armor on is solve this mystery with respect to this robot and how the armor came about. Because at the very end of it, the robot wants to be free and wants to allow the character Chris to be able to take over and to work as together as one, right? Mm. So you've got every time he puts on this armor, the robot does his crime fighting stuff and this and that, but Chris's consciousness is taken over into an AI like environment, goes through episodes trying to solve this mystery, and at the very end, if Chris solves the mystery, the robot has to determine whether or not Chris is worthy enough to be able to wield the power of the Darkhawk, and that then leads into him meeting Richard Rider, who will have his own movie, his own Nova movie.
All right.
Right.
So this is a Blue Beetle spin.
New Warriors.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh God. All right. Who is starring in this vehicle, by the way? Who's your main?
Talk about that.
Who do you got?
You got to cast this stuff.
You got to cast this. Who's your star? Who are you gonna get?
Because
Young
the problem
kids?
is that that's the problem is that a lot of this is this character is like a teenager type character.
Is this an 8-episode show or is it?
It's only 8 episodes. Anything more than that is gonna no.
Can you get like Timothy Chalamet? Could you throw him in there? He's hot.
Okay, sure. Fresh off of Ghostbusters, how long did he put some muscle?
No,
on?
Timothy Chalamet's he's way too famous. But yeah, he's the guy from he was Call Me by My Name, and he was the guy.
Right.
He's the one that's in Dune.
Right, I was thinking of Wolf Finhart. Put Wolf Finhart in there.
Wolf Finhart. Okay, you want to throw a Canadian kid in there? Okay, got it. It's a Vancouver show. You're gonna do it that route. Save money. Yeah,
everything is fantastic.
All right. That's
I know. It's
it's a good start off. It's a good start off. It's good. We're gonna go.
That was really well thought out. I would animate that though. Like that's Darkhawk animate. You'd have different art styles for the AI world and stuff.
All right, John. That was a good start off, Rob. Thank you. John, as your daughter has joined us. What is your pitch? Go through it.
I really want to see a droids live action show.
Okay.
With
Okay.
no, I'm totally joking. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm actually.
Wow. This is a real serious pitch meeting, John. Don't fool around with them.
Okay.
Bob Iger, if they say yes, they
resurrect.
like it, guess what? You're stuck with it. So tell us about this droid show.
Yeah.
That one's like, I like it.
You're
You're
droid
like,
show. Because they got the costumes, they got all the equipment. They just reuse it, and then they just do a Mandalorian style show with the droids.
Well, they don't have Kenny Baker.
No, live action.
Is it C-3PO, R2-D2, or is it a BB-8 and the
No, it's got to be C-3PO, and then you got to bring back the old theme song. But my actual idea was to resurrect. Oh, actually, maybe I flipped it. Maybe this is the joke idea. But my actual idea was to resurrect a Disney property that quite didn't have a chance, but I think would work as a TV show. And it was called John Carter of Mars. So you get Taylor Kish, bring him back to TV, Tim Riggins back in the flesh. You sure as hell don't name it John Carter of Mars. You call it something like He-Man in space. Oh, I mean, maybe not He-Man in space, but Tarzan in space.
Yeah.
And you just have like a fun Mandalorian-esque like show with that property that they own, and it's got lots of history to it.
Warlord of Mars.
Yeah. Warlord, call it Warlord of Mars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Space Conan.
Yep.
And then they can team up with the Droids TV show.
With a special appearance by the Ewoks in that awesome theme song.
Oh.
From
the TV show?
Don't mess with Ewoks.
From the last
movie. With Ewoks.
From the TV show.
They are straight up carnivores. Let's not forget they eat humans. They flat out eat humans. There's no joke, man. The Ewoks are terrifying. Like they'll flat out just eat your face. So just they're all fun and games. So they stab you and make you a filet mignon. Yeah, I get what you're saying, John. I kind of like your first idea much more than the second one. You had us all like, yeah, droids, we're in. Like,
it could work. They could go on all these fantastic adventures, and they wouldn't.
Yes.
You bring in other people to kind of carry the weight of the hero character, all that, and they're just there along for the ride. And R2 always saves the day, anyways, and C-3PO gets to make jokes and plunder around.
So wait, which pitch are you giving us now? So you've gone back to droids?
I don't know. The droids was
the droids one's pretty good. Like honestly, here's the thing: if I was going to do droids, because you could basically do your Avenger-style droids and bring all the droids from all the movies together, and then make that their crew of people. Like there's BB-8 going around. Chopper shows up out of nowhere. You're like, oh, there's Chopper. Chopper shows up.
Chopper.
Like who's the other one?
K2SO.
That trash can bot.
Like who's the other droid from
the Gonk droid?
The droid from Rebels, Andre. The
pylon guy.
Who's the inventory droid that's basically C-3PO for
oh yes, the analytic droid. I can't remember his name, but yeah, that'd be cool.
That guy with BB-8, like it could be like a weird droidian TV show where all of them are on a ship solving mysteries together. Like I kind of want to see that where there's a ship full of droids, and then they maybe run into
Mars.
And
then they can run into John Carter. There you go, John.
Yeah, or it'll be a great idea. So think about how cheap that show would be too. It's like just robots. The only thing would be guest stars. It would be like my pitch, John, would, if I was going to steal your idea, would be imagine Littlest Hobo in space. Like there we go. The little like bindles that are running around with the droids.
They just go around,
hold the
they save the day, and then like disappear.
And then random parts of the galaxy. Yes, like they could go to all these random planets in the Star Wars universe and be like, just drop it in and be like, here we go. They save and help these people and then carry on. So okay. John, your joke idea is the better idea.
Sorry, Taylor Kish.
Taylor Kish, sorry, you've been yeah, no, not since Gambit have I been so disappointed. Andre.
Well, Battleship was all right.
Yeah, that's why Battleship was okay, but him as Gambit was rough. Well, Rihanna was in it. Slow down. Okay, Andre, your pitch.
So I can't believe Rob actually mentioned Nova, because I was thinking a Disney show would be the Nova Corps to make them cool, because in Guardians of the Galaxy, I think they butchered one of the coolest aspects of cosmic Marvel MCU. So that's off the table because that's going to be, you know, a spin-off of Darkhawk. So
would it be like Cops? It's like, what you gonna do? And then they roll it out. They're like live on the camera, like we're gonna.
Peter Serafinowicz just running around trying to.
Honestly, Andre, the Nova Corps would be way better than Green Lantern. Just let Green Lantern be just a complete cluster F, and then they can jump in afterwards and be like, "Oh, we saw what we did, and we'll do it better." So HBO Max.
I think my pitch would be to do a show called Victor and Reed, and it would be like a
high school drama.
I don't want like a drama, but
like Riverdale.
Yeah, like they're in school, they're like rivals.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. This is like Gotham all over again.
It'll be them in either high school or university, and they're always competing, and you know. It's more of like that drama, but they're also friends and they've got the rivalry. And then you could introduce kind of like Sue and then how they both kind of chasing her. And if it runs a couple seasons, it ends with Doom sabotaging the flight, going up to space. And then we get the Fantastic Four and boom, you're into an MCU with a FF movie.
Andre, inevitably, now that you've talked about this Fantastic Four, you're going to have to cast these two leads. Who are you throwing down as your two, like, you throw these names out. You gotta, they're going to like, interesting idea, Andre. Who do you envision the two people to be Reed Richards? Because your show is now on two people's shoulders. So who is Reed Richards and who's Victor Von Doom?
And do you cast young or do you make older people look young?
Mm-hmm.
I would probably cast 20-somethings, but unfortunately, I don't know like a ton of actors and stuff like that. Like that's not my focus. But I think if you had people that could carry both a little bit of that comedic side and the serious side, like I don't know if I would cast a comedian per se, you know, for either part. But I also wouldn't want to take somebody who's just known for like super serious stick in the mud type of role. So I'll think over the course of this if I can think of anybody. But I think, Stu, you'd probably throw out some names and I would be like, okay, yeah, cool, I could see that person doing it. But I think it would also add a little bit of more variety to the Marvel stuff, and because it could be that drama, and if you hit it, it would be like those, you know, university, you know, type shows and stuff. And I think you'd get a cross section of the audience. You don't call it the Fantastic Four, you call it, you know, Reed and Victor, or Victor and Reed, and people, only the people who know, they'll be like, oh, hey, I know these guys are going to turn into, so that's going to make all this stuff even more heartbreaking.
Can we just call it NYU because that's where they went to school? And
yeah.
You know, isn't that where they met in New York? Yeah, NYU. That's where the university would take place. So I think that be a good thing. I think the challenge is always Victor Von Doom. He is such an amazing character, and you have to bridge that gap between like cocky arrogance and just like also very sad / like conflicted, because he's constantly weighing these things in his mind.
Army Hammer.
Yeah, de-age Army Hammer and have him.
They could duplicate him in the Social Network, and they made him the Lone Ranger. He was, as much as that movie sucked, at least you kind of liked him a little bit. So give him.
I don't know if he is a little old to be a high school kid, but yeah, we could de-age him. We de-age Kurt Russell for goodness sake. So why not? And that Kurt Russell thing would look amazing. But God, it would be expensive.
Gemini Man styles.
Oh, yeah. What a bomb that was. Yeah, Gemini Man, sure. That's what you want to hear when you spend $200 million. It's It's okay, I hear you. So I'm gonna go completely off the rails to you guys. So I love this movie from the 2000s. It starred one of my two favorite actors because I think that they were both underappreciated, underrated. It was a re-imaging of a Disney animated film that turned into a live action film. And now that you're all thinking, can you guess what it is? As I mentioned this, it was
recently turned into a live action.
It was a Jerry Bruckheimer film that was turned into a live action. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Bruckheimer.
It was starring Nicolas Cage and Jay Baruchel.
Is it National Treasure?
Oh,
The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh, okay.
So I want a Sorcerer's Apprentice television show. I think it's one of the niches that Disney is missing when it comes to fantasy and magic. Like right now, they have the the comic book, they have Star Wars, but like what is kind of that vector, which is the Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones thing they're missing. So this would allow them to go back in time and have Merlin and Morgana, and then kind of also stretch it through times, because the movie was to say, hey, there's always been like a Morganian person who had the magic powers. So this would be one of those things where you could cross time travel back and forth to all the different magicians and mages. And that movie was badass in the sense of like all the evil wizards. You could stretch that out to episodes and have like a really cool boss fights. So it's something that Disney doesn't have. Nicolas Cage will probably not do it because, unless
he probably would.
Because he's Tiger King now.
He bought another castle. I don't know. But I think it was a really good concept in terms of that. The casting's pretty much, you could just bring Nicolas Cage back and rewrite the whole thing.
I never saw that movie. I'll be honest with you. I didn't see the movie.
It's a good one.
Okay.
I would recommend watching it just for it's really good. And then I think Dr. Doom is actually in it. So funny enough, Dr. Doom isn't. He plays this like Vegas style, like dark, mind freak magician. And he actually has real magic, but it's really cool. And Dr. Octopus is in it. He was Alfred Molina, so like it's a good kind of basis where you could stretch that bad boy out to a couple seasons and then have the apprentice really, because he was like learning magic slowly, but could really have some lessons of magic in it. So I thought it was really the one area that they could go into and move it at Harry Potter space that Disney has nothing there. So yeah, the only castle thing they have is the Snow Whites and then the Princess Sophia. I think that's what they all got right now. So they have nothing.
Let's see a show where Walt Disney's frozen body is entombed down in the castle, right? Yeah,
I believe that's the plot for Frozen 3, Rob. So spoilers alert.
Actually, wait. This is the original one I was thinking of before Darkhawk.
Nice.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I was like, as a Disney Plus for a kids, bring it in, and then you can shoehorn Franklin Richards into it and put it into for a Fantastic Four. But
yeah, I think that would be the Disney Plus. Okay, so great job, everyone.
I considered Tomorrowland. Is Tomorrowland like a thing? Because when I went to Disney, they had a whole section based on Tomorrowland, and I'm like, I've never heard of this.
Have you seen the movie?
George Clooney, Brad Bird.
George Clooney.
No, I know it was a movie, but I was like, was it this big? Did it warranted a whole section of the park?
No, but that movie is based on the stuff in the park. It's the same as Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrowland was always there. Yeah.
And let's not forget.
I was like, this is crazy.
Let's not forget the Haunted House starring Eddie Murphy. So these are things that And then Jungle Cruise with The Rock. So this is a fine tradition of making movies based on rides you have. Is it Space Mountain? Didn't they have? No, it was not Space Mountain.
No, you're talking about Rescue from Witch Mountain.
Yeah, Witch Mountain. They should have called it Witch Mountain instead of Space Mountain. Yeah, another movie starring The Rock. So there we go. The Rock is, as much as he's doing his own thing, he constantly dips his toe into Disney properties. Okay, so we're gonna jump on the topic 2. So you guys have done a good job already talking about Marvel properties. So as we know, Kevin Feige, the mastermind himself, has been working on Phase 4 and slowly working on Phase 5 for the cinematic universe. A world without Robert Downey Jr., a world without Chris Evans. So Andre is ecstatic.
So Downey
now,
Jr. Yeah, Evans was amazing.
This is now we live in a world where Chadwick Boseman / Benedict Cumberbatch are going to be ruling, and with Brie Larson, maybe that's the new big 3. Oh, Chris Hemsworth's still there. He's not going anywhere. Let's be frank. He's in. He's in forever. You're gonna pry that franchise out of his cold dead.
You never know. This crazy stuff going on now. You might see everybody else come back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Chris he has a really nice situation because they're like, we'll just film in Australia. He's like, sold. All the movies we've done in Australia.
So I can be at home?
Yeah,
right.
I can do it at home. They're like, okay, done. Whatever you want. It's like, so, I think, it's one of those things where like Rob mentioned off camera, it's like it's really nice to work close to home, and I don't know if you can put a price onto like a 10-minute commute.
Yeah.
So it's not bad, but like you're gonna pay me how much, and I'm gonna live 15 minutes from home. Sold. Sign me up.
Boom.
Boom. So Marvel movies, Phase 5. So we're gonna go around again. This is a good position for you, Rob, because you get to choose whatever you want and steal it from us. So we know of some movies that have been announced. We know there's unnamed. Oh, so the movies off the table is the unnamed Blade movie, because we know that's coming out soon. Guardians 3, Captain Marvel 2. There's a possible unnamed couple other movies as well that is eluding me. Guardians 3.
There's another Thor coming, another Doctor Strange.
Yeah, those are the Shang-Chi. So those are the typical movies. So we're looking for a movie that no one's been cast in. Ant-Man 3. So there's movies coming out. So we're looking for a property that there is nobody in that role to make that movie. So I don't want a Siri movie. As much as I love her, she's great. I don't need her to be in her own movie. I want net new. So Rob, what do you got for us? Your pitch to Kevin Feige and them. Again, we'll send you the bill later, Kev.
All right. So these are hard, man, to try. But so I started thinking about what has Marvel always done, and successfully, is that they seem to have merged sometimes two storylines into one property. Look at Ragnarok, right?
Mm-hmm.
He took Planet Hulk and another Thor, Ragnarok, and they put it together. So
Andre's point, yes, maybe to in his opinion. Sorry, his opinion.
The joining of the two storylines, not so much. But
okay, yeah, fair enough.
Financially,
yes. I kind of was like, okay, I'm actually bringing in a new character. All right,
you have to. Yes. Who's the new
character? So I'm going to start it off. You're combining Marvels, the story of Marvels, okay? Ooh. Because we know it's a photographer. He goes around. He's been documenting, pre-existing incidents that have happened with superheroes in the MCU, right? So I'm going to read my chicken scratch. He's documenting, pictures of superheroes in their battles throughout the MCU, and he thinks that there's something calling to him, saying it all seems very familiar, right? He's an older guy, much older guy, and he keeps trying to think, well, something. I feel like I was part of this. And he starts having flashbacks, and then he realizes that he had asked the Ancient One, bring back Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One way back in the day, to erase his mind, his memory, and everybody's memory of who he was. And all of a sudden he realizes, I got to get this guy's name correct. He realizes that he is Robert Reynolds, otherwise known as the Sentry.
All right. Okay. Good. Nice. Right? Got it.
And Marvel will then do an amazing, because Sentry is almost like their answer to Superman, but he's been really like a C-list character. Their answer to Superman, right? And he essentially, because now we're looking at phase 5, he's going to take over that power that Captain Marvel currently has, and maybe Brie Larson eventually takes off in 10 years, right? So now you've got the Sentry as that figurehead.
And the Void. So yes.
Yes, and the Void. Yes, and that's so it kind of merges.
All right, this is the $1 million question. Who is your actor? Who are you casting in this position for?
I never considered that.
What are you talking about? What? What are you? This is a pitch. What are you?
Army Hammer.
An Army Hammer.
Sold. Army Hammer. He's back.
Yeah, because he would make a great Hal
Wayne.
Jordan. Yeah. He would make a great Hal Jordan, but bring him into the Sentry and make him real old, as they did with Chris Evans at the end of Endgame and Andre's favorite movie, and make him really old, and then he becomes the Sentry. He's tall. He's like 6 something, and bulk him up a bit. And
who's gonna be Batman? He was ready to go.
Yeah, he was, but he's not. So long, sucker. So yeah, that's my pitch. Is at the end of the movie he becomes Sentry, and that's his whole origin story is him trying to figure out.
Can we do a crossover with the Winklevosses? Maybe that would be a thing.
That's
too.
right. Yeah, you have 2 Army Hammers.
3 Army Hammers.
That's right. Army Hammer Eye.
Hammers.
Yeah.
And then bring in Justin Hammer, and then boom! This is a crossover.
He's back.
Hammer Core.
That's what it is. You're taking 2 properties and you're melding them together.
Can we have a cameo by MC Hammer? Can we do that too?
You definitely should have that.
He can do the theme song.
Oh, we talked about this off camera too. Yes, the theme songs.
Yeah.
All right, that was a strong start. God help us with this, John. God, okay, I have an idea, guys. Imagine this.
Ewoks, the cartoon.
I want
of the movie.
John's joke ideas every single time to be better than his real idea. I want this to be the thing where John's like, JK, this is my joke. And we'll be like, that's
way better.
Way better. You're second guessing yourself. All right, that's a.
I actually didn't have a joke ready for this one. What I had was I had a three-pronged assault. I have a three-pronged assault to introduce a character into the Marvel Universe that they need to introduce. They have to get him out here in the ASAP, and that character is Wolverine. So, stay with me. First movie, rom-com, Wolverine, Cyclops, Phoenix love triangle. That gets your women in there. Okay.
Oh my God, we're gonna
sexy and
cancel
romantic
John,
like Wolverine.
What do you mean the women in there? What are you doing?
Anybody.
We gotta edit this.
Me
too. Hashtag me too. The views reflected in this podcast do not represent Rob, Stewart, and Andre. Explicitly only to John only.
A date movie. So wait, the polyamorous? Is this what you're telling me?
The love triangle. So it's a classic. It's a classic.
That's your movie. You can't do X-Men movie a prong. This is your build-up.
Okay, the second movie that you introduce Wolverine is you base it off. Okay, so this one's a semi-serious.
No, John, that's it. You get one movie. I didn't say you get a series. You get one movie.
Is a raid like Judge Dredd movie with Wolverine tearing through the Hellfire Club. All right, that's old Uncanny X-Men 133.
This is
and then the third movie that brings
you just can't make it into 3 movies.
And then the third one that brings it all home is got the star power, right? This is what demolishes the Marvel Universe. This movie with 3 characters in it. So Wolverine, Captain America, and Black Widow. So that original story, Uncanny X-Men 289 or whatever the hell it was, it flashes back. So there's Captain America and Wolverine in the past, and then it jumps to the future with Wolverine and Black Widow and a bunch of X-Men and stuff. So you don't get the full X-Men. You can get ScarJo back. You can get Chris Evans, because Chris Evans, yeah, sure, why not? What else is she doing right now? Her movie got delayed, so she's gonna have some room for some projects. This brings everybody in, and you get like a pseudo mini Avengers. You get Wolverine introduced into the other characters first, and then you expand on the X-Men. So now Wolverine is more of an Avenger, and the mass appeal. So 3-pronged assault that gets Wolverine.
3 claws. I don't know, movie, John.
Wolverine.
You get one movie. This is not. You do not get to Hobbitize this movie.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Not how it works.
While you were devising this 3-pronged strategy, how much did you really think about the rom-com aspect? Like, it seems like you have a lot of passion for that one. Like, that one really seemed to be like, I kind of want like a 4 Weddings and a Funeral or a Notting Hill. I want a Notting Hill Wolverine movie.
Exactly.
Like,
She's all that, you would think.
Yeah. Wait, who's Wolverine?
Let's not forget that love triangle. She's all that with Freddie Prinze Jr., originally Cook, and R.I.P. Paul Walker. So let's not forget Paul Walker.
God, yeah.
Who's Wolverine?
John, you get one of these movies. Who's Wolverine? Yes.
Who's Wolverine? Can I cast a Zac Efron?
You can cast whoever you want. Sure, Zac Efron. Sure, that's who you want.
I want a Zac Efron. He's young. He's scrappy. Maybe not as young anymore. He's scrappy. He's ripped. You know, he's the size. His hair might have to get a little crazy.
Okay, all right. Which else? Okay, so Kevin Feige shoots back and it's like, John, we can give you one of these movies. Which one is it? Like, which one are you ride or dying with?
I know which one is taken.
Oh yeah. I'll take the trilogy with the 3.
One
with the 3
movie, not trilogy. You don't get to do a trilogy.
I'll take the big movie with the 3 characters. So we bring back Chris Evans.
Okay.
And we bring back ScarJo.
Okay. All right.
And we have a trifecta introducing Wolverine.
Okay.
But they're in a romantic tryst.
That's fine.
Yeah, there might be something going on.
You're now following the rules again, John. You went off. You're really close to the 3rd rail right there. We
3-pronged.
This is I get in the meetings now for these Marvel movies. It's like, so tell us about your triple movie plan. But you have to start somewhere. You got to start with one before you go. This is the same thing that happened with that D&D movie back in the day. they're like, this is going to be a trilogy. It's like, why don't you focus on the first movie before you worry about the second movie? Because that
John's
first movie
rolling in thinking he's Peter
terrible.
Jackson. Let me tell you about this Lord of the Rings. I need 3. Like,
that's fine. No, let me tell you about the Hobbit. You know,
So we start with the Mummy.
300-page book that's scrolled into 3 movies. Okay, Andre, we're rolling up to you now. You got some. Now you've seen the good and bad example. I won't say which one's which.
Don't take my rom-com idea.
Well, I'm going to have some romance in this one, and this would be the I would call it the sacrifice of Norin Rad. And we get the Silver Surfer origin story. And I've thought this time who's going to play the Silver Surfer, but more importantly, who's going to play Norin Rad. And I would give it to Keanu Reeves. And the first half of the movie is him as a scientist with his love, Shalabal, and then when Galactus comes, and then it would be him trying to talk down the World Eater, the Devourer, and he turns into, sacrifices himself, becomes the Silver Surfer, and then at the end of the movie, it could flash forward to the Surfer leading Galactus to Earth.
Damn it, Andre, that's a good one.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I have it on my phone. I took a photo because I was of Silver Surfer. And I was like, maybe I'll do this, but I couldn't crack that story. So man,
who is Galactus in your epic storyline of who's Galactus?
Who's Galactus?
Because Norin Rad is a character that's kind of bland, which Keanu was perfect for because he just not high or low. I've never seen Fantastic.
So you don't want to eat the Earth.
Yeah, honestly, Norin Rad is like a very calm Zen guy, which why Keanu is perfect. And you just put him in a suit. You don't have to show him de-aged or whatever. It's fine. But in terms
paint him silver. Gold.
But in terms of in terms of looking to
what's the guy's name? Ken Watanabe.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd have him as the voice of Galactus.
You wouldn't go back to the OG voice of Galactus?
Well, because I kind of want sort of like that, like Unicron type of voice, right? But I'm thinking like Ken Watanabe, like when he was doing in Batman, not Batman, in Batman as Ra's al Ghul,
Begins.
Make his voice really deep, and he's gonna speak minimal, but every line he says is just gonna be bang. It's gonna it's gonna hit you.
I just got a call from my boy Larry. He's upset that you wouldn't consider him again for it. So Lawrence, if you're out there, I have your back. I would go back to Lawrence Fishburne as the voice of Galactus. But
he's already in the MCU.
Yeah, but it's his voice, damn it. It's like Vin Diesel. Is it Groot? Like who cares?
He was the voice of the Silver Surfer, wasn't he?
But he was also the voice of I think it was Galactus too, or whatever. But yeah,
in that movie, in that Fantastic Four movie, really?
Yeah, I think it was uncredited or something. But I'll go back to Lawrence Fishburne. So I'll go back to Larry. Just uncredited. It's kind of like Benedict Cumberbatch was uncredited as Dormammu, but I think he was also Dormammu. So it's one of those things where we need a voice. You have a low gravitas. Why not? We'll voice change it, or you just do a voice box. You could do Keanu double duty. So to be him as well. Okay, that was great, Andre. Man, that. Wait, who's the love interest? Who's the woman that he's gonna sacrifice his life for?
Who plays her? Yeah, now you're really okay. Who do
I already know who I'd pick just for kicks and giggles.
Okay, throw it out. Let me get my wheels turning.
I would do a John Wick reunion.
Halle Berry?
No, his wife in the John Wick movie is.
Michelle. Is it Michelle Monaghan?
It is. No, it's yeah. It's former Tom Brady. So I would say that Bridget. Is it Bridget Moynahan? Or Michelle Moynahan? Anyways, I would go the wife from John Wick. Yes.
Interesting.
We'll fact check that. She's and she gets the she's currently on Blue Bloods, right? That's her shtick. So.
Oh well, then that's not the person I'm thinking of. I don't think.
Isn't it? Okay.
So Bridget Regan?
Oh, is it Bridget Regan? Oh, maybe it's Bridget. Okay. So, yeah.
No, you're right. No, it's Bridget Moynahan.
Bridget Moynahan.
Oh, Bridget Moynahan. Yeah,
Bridget Moynahan. Yes.
She's in the bottom corner here.
Bridget Moynihan.
Okay.
That's who I'd go with. Former Miss Tom Brady. Before Giselle. Okay, so I am gonna go.
I was thinking this one. That too much glare. Michelle Monaghan. That's who I was thinking.
Yes.
From
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, another
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. vehicle that
There you go.
Andre cannot hate. That actually was a good one. So don't.
Yeah, Andre doesn't like that one.
Don't like him, but that Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is actually a good one. So
never underestimate Andre's power of hatred of movies.
it has Iceman in it. It has Val Kilmer, the Saint.
I'm like a dwarf. I can hold a grudge.
God. Okay, so my movie is out there. You guys went with the fun, the more logical stuff. I'm going completely off the rails, something completely different that no one has ever thought about and no one has ever talked about. I am going for a movie that, to Rob's point, I like the idea of them being involved but not involved. I love The Greatest Story Never Told as from the DC universe, where my boy Booster Gold is doing things behind the scenes and is never recognized. So the Marvel equivalent to that is the Great Lake Avengers. So
Get out.
Great Lake Avengers.
No one ever watched it.
Yes, just like no one's going to watch Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, Mr. Immortal has a few things to say to you about that. I want him. Andre is shocked. I want him doing road clearance.
I'm holding in my vomit.
The true heroes of the New York thing is like, I want them in the back room like Lion King 1 and the Third. You know, that movie where people are always just there. I want the Great Lake Avengers to always be in the background. Like they can just basically, it's a one-off movie where they could just CGI them in all the major fight scenes, but them just putting their arms up and be like, guys, this way, that way, like in the building, like everyone has to leave the building. And the comedy of them being sliced in a la Back to the Future of like all the scenes, but you don't have to pay the actors. So you could bring all these clips from all the Marvel movies and have them there without paying the actors to be there. So like they were there in the New York thing. They were there at Vienna with they were there for all the major events at the airport. They were at the airport with the Avengers fight. They were just like, God, why was it so empty? Because the Great Lake Avengers were telling all the personnel to leave the facility. So guys, you got to leave. Yeah. So I want that movie.
I think that's more of your Disney TV show.
I want to just like that type of thing in the background because you need the money to do CGI. And I want the ridiculousness of Doorman, so he'll open doors for all the people to get out of harm's way because they'll touch the door and everyone like go through this way and everyone runs through and I want Mr. Immortal to die a few times, just be pissed like on it. Like I was like, oh God. Like here's the thing, Wolverine when he dies looks awesome and he's like, ugh, shakes it off. Like Mr. Immortal when he dies, he's just a curmudgeon. He's like, that sucked. Like, if you died and got resurrected, it would suck. Like, you would hate it. But Wolverine's just like, meh, shrugs it off. So I want it to be like, man, that really sucked. And I just, like, anyone have some, like, you know, orange slices that like, just like, I need some, like, electrolytes. Like, anyone have Gatorade? Just like that. I can still taste it in my mouth.
Can I just say that I didn't think it would be possible today to actually really now appreciate John's romantic pick, but you've done it, Stu. You've made me actually really appreciate John's rom-com, and I didn't think that was doable.
You guys think of it now, but like, man, it's like you need what is right now the unstrung heroes of today right now. It's our essential workers. It's the doctors, the nurses, the people doing the yeoman work right now. And the Great Lake Avengers are the yeomen of the MCU. The guys who are like, let me bring doctors to the scene. Like Doorman could open a door and doctors and nurses could come out. He could do all these things. Mr. Immortal, like these are things that in this new society, it's like we appreciate our workers. So this is a way for us to like bring in.
That's a good shoehorn in there, Stu. That's a good thing.
This is it, baby.
I don't know, dude.
And it's like this is the way, because the real superheroes are the doctors and nurses who are doing police officers, firemen who are doing the real work right now. So this is them interacting with that, and I think that's the show on our COVID-19 world. Like before this, it was really dumb, but now you're like, we gotta give some big ups to the people that are working, essential workers. So that is my pitch for.
I agree with that.
Isn't there a Wrecking Crew show in the works?
I think. Well, we had a little taste of that with Spider-Man, right? With
I swear there was a Wrecking Crew show in the works.
Because
where they're in the background, but
yeah, like it was kind of one of those things. It was kind of like that TV show for DC that had before, with
what was it called? Because they were the ones that were cleaning up everything with Alan
Tudyk. Yeah, but
right?
I want the Great Lake Avengers to be first responders. So maybe one of them could be a nurse or like a. Just have powers that are only suitable to not fight villains, but like this guy can shoot like fire extinguisher stuff out of his hands. Like this is what I want to see in the world.
Burns people's eyes.
First responders. This is good. But because we know there are mutants and Purals that have no powers that can't fight Galactus. So what the heck are these guys going to do? Like you need people to do stuff, man. You got to clear the way for the real.
We do is called Hawkeye.
Guess who's the leader of the Great Lake Avengers? You just said it. The founding leader is Hawkeye and Mockingbird. Boom! Thank you for that segue. It is led by the world's mightiest Avenger, Hawkeye.
So you bring Jeremy Renner back, and
Yes.
then who else do you cast?
You can bring in Adrian Padalecki from Friday Night Lights, or she was Mockingbird, and you can bring her in because she's I guess she's in that space show right now, the Orville. But you could probably bring her, and you can cast whoever you want as the Great Lake Avengers. But yeah, that's essentially it. And the funny comedy thing is that no one wants to recognize them as part of the Avengers, and you could have guys, stop using that name.
Yeah, go on.
They're based in hilarity is they're also based in Minnesota, so it's hilarious and so many weird things where why you just have them in Fargo and then boom, bring in some cameos. So that is my weirdo pitch. So there you go. Thank you for bringing in Hawkeye. I was waiting for someone to do it. Okay.
So in the Wolverine movie, there's
people are gonna be like, guys.
So wait, John, tell me more about this love with Wolverine.
There's a misunderstanding, and then they somehow get back together in the end. But then Phoenix chooses Cyclops, and then Wolverine is left alone. Everyone's rooting for Wolverine. Everyone's like, Wolverine should have got the girl, and he is now your hero for your next 2 movies.
I one for all thank all the first responders.
Lines it up.
You'll all be cast in my show and background actors. I'll get real first responders in the background, and there we go. It's gonna be a good thing. So, all right. So last on our docket is we're gonna copy our format from the last week, where the genre is small, the genre is rough, the genre is bad. We are talking about video game movies.
There's so much to choose from in this. I don't know what you had an issue with, Rob.
Because they're all shite.
So we're gonna roll out with some video game movies. So we're gonna, as last time, our favorite video game movie number 1, and then we're gonna zip around as our guilty pleasure. So a reminder: guilty pleasure is.
What if it's both?
You get you get one
your
of the
favorite is also your guilty pleasure.
John breaks all the rules every single time. No, one or the other, damn it. And then the guilty pleasure is a movie that you love, but you'll never tell anyone that you love. It's a movie that you'll play in the background.
I'll tell everybody.
You will turn it off if someone enters the room, and you will not own the said DVD. Or you could, but you'd hide it. It wouldn't be prominently displayed with your other on your shelf. So, Rob, you get the task of going first. So what do you got for us?
Oh, man, this is rough. But I'm actually going to be strategic. And since I'm picking first, I'm going to pick something that I'm hoping that really messes with John or Andre. So
good.
I've got to Andre's checking his collection.
I know. He's like, look at
what's at the very bottom.
Yeah.
When you're sorting out all your favorites, and then the very bottom. It's like,
so I
this
wouldn't
is the other
say
movie.
This is my favorite, but this is probably the one that at least was the most fun. And I'm going to go with the original Mortal Kombat.
damn it!
Yes! I'm picked. I knew it.
Damn it!
Yeah. Good call.
It was. There's always Street Fighter, Andre. Don't worry. You got that.
Oh, unless John takes it. Oh God, it's gonna be real rough.
Hey man, you had the Highlander himself, Christopher Lambert. Okay.
Lambert. Yes.
Yeah, what was in there?
Participate in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed. I thought. I mean, listen. Let's just be honest.
I saw it twice in theaters. These are
all horrible. But and I didn't want to go new. I didn't want to go with the recent one, the Sonic, which I think is actually pretty good. But I went Mortal Kombat because I thought it was just a lot of fun back in the day. So Mortal Kombat.
I really wanted to finish. I want to finish him.
It's a good. Why don't you give us your quick Mortal Kombat synopsis for the folks at home? What is Mortal Kombat for those who are uninitiated to this? Because maybe there's a person or two in the world who hasn't seen Mortal Kombat. What is Mortal Kombat?
Well, it's a bunch of fighters. It's like Bloodsport, bunch of fighters.
Yeah. Okay, carry on.
Who are brought to an island essentially, and they have to battle each other, just to see who is the. It's like also like Highlander. There could be only.
But what are the stakes, Rob? You need to let us know the stakes.
Life and death, Stu. All right.
Yes. Because what happens if we lose this particular?
The mortal realm is lost.
The more isn't like the demon realm, isn't it something like that? Listen, I don't know. Okay, I just want to.
You bastard!
You picked it. You don't even remember. Okay, so just as a reminder,
white hat.
Mortal Kombat, which is a copy. Well, I guess it's inspired by Bloodsport, Kumite.
Yes.
John put an awesome picture of it on social the other day of Van Damme, which I guess now Shang-Chi also is stealing that Tournament of the Realms thing. But they did a copy of that in Shang-Chi with all the different martial artists. But it is a movie based on the fact that the tournament is held every 40 years or whatnot. And if your realm, your earthly plane loses, 9 or 10 in a row, the outer world gets to take over your universe. So if you basically lose, they get to take over your world. So that's the stakes. So there's Goro, there's a monster with 4 arms, there's an immortal sorcerer, lots of different fun characters and
cool ass ninjas. Scorpion.
Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Johnny Cage. So these are memorable.
I love
characters. Yes. What was the last time you watched it, if that was the case?
So John's picking next.
Last year.
Rob remembers it so well.
It might have been 1997.
So I want to.
I saw it twice in theater.
We jump over
my poor
to,
uncle used to take us kids to all these movies. So Ninja Turtles, Mortal Kombat, he used to have to sit through these. And in my head, I'm thinking, this is a brilliant movie. As a little kid, I don't know how old I was. I was like, this is smart. They're battling the Mortal Realm. Shang Tsung is a bad guy. I'm like, this is a cool movie. And then my uncle at the end is like, that was terrible. Okay, well, when are you going to take us again?
1995. Yeah. I want to.
Mortal Kombat.
I want to give a special shout out to my buddy again, Mike Barltrop, his mom, Mrs. Barltrop. Pat, you're the best. You took me and Mike to watch Mortal Kombat. She's a teacher. She must have been shaking her head the entire this. She was just there like, you guys want to watch it? We'll take it. So another shout out to Barltrop, mom, for taking us to watch Mortal Kombat. She was scarred probably by watching that movie. So back in the day, this was the pre, as the story last week went, when I snuck in to try to watch Blade.
Right.
And yes, John Fortunis was with me. So shout out to you, John. Another fun, weird fact before we go on and give John a little more time to stall was the same two guys, Mike and John, heard a rumor back in the day that in the movie You Got Mail, there was a trailer for Star Wars The Phantom Menace. So guess who dragged me to watch You Got Mail to watch that? And we were planning to leave and we're like, you know what, let's just stay and watch the movie. So I was delighted with You Got Mail, which actually wasn't bad. When I was like, this before YouTube and you could watch trailers. You had to go to the movie theater to watch a movie trailer. So you kids out there, We thought the Phantom Menace was going to play during that trailer. We were wrong. Watch Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, rom-com.
Got your ticket
so there we
money.
go, with a little Dave Chappelle thrown in. So there we go. John, what do you have for us as your favorite?
I got nothing. I didn't think anyone was gonna pick Mortal Kombat.
No, it was the number one pick. What are you talking about? There's never been a number one pick more than Mortal Kombat. You're out of your mind.
Okay, I choose Ready Player One.
That's not based on a video
No,
game.
no, it's a book.
Oh,
Nope,
man.
nope, does not count.
It's a video game.
Nope.
Okay, I choose
Nope.
Jumanji.
It's not based on a video
Board
game.
John, if you want to do the
I got
wizard,
nothing.
you can do the wizard if
I
you
was
want.
making a Mortal Kombat.
John, do the wizard. You can do the wizard. That's
John
it.
gets the Super Mario movie.
Yeah, the wizard. That's it.
Oh man, the
Wait,
wizard.
you
Oh man, that was
serious?
terrible.
Yeah, but that's not based on a video game though.
That's the movie's basically them playing Super Nintendo. It's a basic advertisement.
It
But
was
yeah,
advertising for
Is
Super
it-
Mario
Is this
3.
Super Mario 3 commercial?
this is Super Mario.
And the
Remember they
Power
called
Glove.
the Power Glove, and then they called the Power Line, where they were on the telephone calling for back in the day
tips.
when you call for hints and tips.
Wait a minute, John, didn't you like Resident Evil?
I was gonna say Resident Evil, but I don't remember. Like I remember it being a good movie.
I don't remember Mortal
even
Kombat. but I said Mortal Kombat.
John,
And it looks
you
like I
had
got
this
two
much
people
time.
with that pick.
You had to imagine someone's gonna pick Mortal Kombat. You don't have a backup.
No, I didn't. Who picks Mortal Kombat?
Everyone picks Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat's the number one pick. John,
Double Dragon,
I got
Double
it.
Dragon with the two halves of the.
all the work that you gained with
I
that
got
romantic comedy has now been just Johnny Cage kicked out of the ring. So guess what?
Hey, in my defense, I
that
thought
was
it
going to
gonna
be
first
both
again.
your guilty
I thought it was
and
first.
ring. You had nothing, John. You have nothing.
What
'Cause you
about
said
Street
that was gonna be
Fighter?
both. Forget it, John. You're out. You're done. You're gonzo. Andre,
Damn it, Rob.
that is
Wow.
that is
So-
so subpar, John. So subpar.
There's
Honestly,
like a list of 34 movies you
yeah,
can get off of
34 movies
Vulture. Like,
available online. You can't come up with number 2? Wow. All right.
All right.
Andre, you get to steal John's spot because John doesn't know anything. So
All
John,
right.
we'll come back to you. But Andre, you
Why?
get to jump in the list. I've never seen someone, the clock has run out on the draft that they didn't pick anyone. Andre.
So since I can't pick Mortal Kombat, my
See?
genuine
What the hell?
genuine
Yeah, but at
love
least he has the
of,
number 2 pick.
of a video game movie. And like Rob, I'm not going to do Sonic because it was just recent and stuff, but I am going to do another furry character. And it was the Ratchet and Clank movie that came out a couple years ago.
the animated one, right?
And yeah, animated. And I got to say, like, as a gamer, my first experience playing Ratchet and Clank was when it was on the PS3. And that game looked beautiful. It looked like you were playing a Pixar cartoon anyways. And I really got into to that series, and I went and I collected all of them and played them and stuff. But why it's really special to me is because I started playing that game the when they were two players, Ratchet and Clank, All for One, and a couple others. And I got to play with my nephew. And the movie originally came out, and I think it came out near my birthday. And I asked the wife. I said, "Hey," she's like, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" I said, "Oh, I want to go see Ratchet and Clank movie." And she's like, "Is that the one with the cat?" And I'm like, "Well, he's a lombac." And she's like, "You can go see that by yourself." So then I just went and picked up my nephew, and we went to the theater, and it was awesome. The movie was a lot of fun. Had a great message. Had a great cast of voice actors, and a really underrated movie. Like, sure, it's not a movie that you're looking for it to be serious, but it was true to the game.
Yeah,
true to the source material, and it was a solid animated movie. So you have to judge it on that level of, is it going to be appropriate for kids? Does it have a message? And is it watchable? And I got to say, there was a great line that stuck with me since that movie, and it was that a hero doesn't have to do big things; they just have to do the right things. And I'm like, perfect. Ratchet, small little guy,
Uncle Ben
got
moment,
Clank
Andre.
on his back, And it was just, yeah, so it's a great solid movie. If you haven't seen it, it's got to be online somewhere for you to stream or to watch. But definitely check out Ratchet and Clank. Even if you don't know anything about the characters, it's a solid movie.
Okay, John. There's 1,000 movies that I can't believe you didn't pick. And like, do you have something for us?
Okay, if Mortal Kombat is not on the table,
there is Mortal Kombat still, John. Mortal Kombat's still on the table.
Don't get out of here. That's off. That's you can't even imagine how bad Annihilation was. I would pick Need for Speed.
That's the movie I thought you would pick in the very beginning. I'm like, how did you not pick Need for Speed? That's like a John Ho like wheelhouse. It's a car movie.
Yeah.
It's starring Aaron Paul and Dominic Cooper. Like
it wasn't really like a video game movie though. It was basically a Mustang commercial. It was really weird. But I still own it. I did see it.
So yeah, this is Detective Pikachu. What I can't believe this fell to me. This is the biggest drop in the draft. This is the Jordan moment.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, but it's not really like you're taking a character, right? Like it's the same as saying with the Wizard. Is it really based on you're taking a character?
Yeah, you know what, Stu? I'm gonna veto that because it's based on Pokemon, which was a card game before a video game. So you got to pick something else.
Yeah, like if it was a Tamagotchi movie, maybe.
Wasn't the video game before the video game was before the card game?
No, cards came out first.
Cards came out first.
Cards were.
Do we have to look this up?
Okay. All right. So I will jump. I will jump down to the next movie on my chart. Then I'm gonna go World of Warcraft. So I'm gonna go Warcraft.
I was thinking that.
There we go.
No, you weren't, John.
Warcraft.
That was a solid movie.
I haven't seen it. I
did not hate that movie. It honestly was not great, but here's the thing: visually amazing. If I just muted that bad boy in the background and didn't listen to it, I think it's a masterpiece. Just looking at the way that they've turned that movie into that game and turned it into a movie, like the props were amazing. Like everything about that looked fantastic. Honestly, when they were doing a prop warehouse sale, I was looking at buying some props from Warcraft 3, like the armor, the swords. I'm like, I want to buy it. I want to buy all of it. They were selling full, like, you know, not metal, but like, you know, fabricated banners, and like the world was so intricate and awesome that
Orcs were amazing in that.
Yeah, everything was cool in it. The story was bland. It was even worse than anything else I've seen. But
never saw it.
The look of it, and just honestly, Rob, just go on Netflix, play it with no.
It's gone off of Canadian. I just took a look. It's gone off Canadian, but it'll be back for sure.
Just don't watch the movie. Just watch the compendium of stuff happening in the background. You're like, well, this is beautiful. This is nice.
I think it is actually a watchable movie, even more so if you do not know anything about World of Warcraft. The problem why the movie didn't do well is because it wasn't Warcraft enough for the audience. Like I've never played any of the Warcraft games. I've played the card game, right? But I've never played the game. So when I watched the movie, I'm like, yo, this looks pretty cool. It's fantasy. The problem is, even from what I knew of the movie, I'm like, how come the Alliance fighters aren't like throwing their hammer and it glows and they're like, hammer of justice. And like, I'm like, there's all these wicked spells and abilities that you have that they could have showcased, but they decided to just go and do a Lord of the Rings style, just, you know, axe on shield and stuff like that, you know. But I will say the storyline for the orcs and their plight, I thought it was actually well done. It's too bad that if they're not getting a sequel, because look how many people, like, look at that audience. It's like, how can studios not make a good movie based on something that's been around for so long and so successful? Like, another thing I don't understand is how can they not have had a Halo movie after all these years? It's live action commercials. They've done amazing cutscenes. They've got amazing voice actors in the games and like celebrity voice actors. And I'm like, Jesus, like this game has been selling millions and millions and millions of copies. It's an entertainment juggernaut, yet you can't figure out why people like it enough to translate that onto the screen.
I think it's
About a
for
build
that
to-
is difficult, Andre. Like
I don't
Halo,
think so. No, man.
it's super hard. Halo 4 to Dawn was the only Halo movie that went straight out to video or whatnot. It
but
had
again-
Master Chief slowly in the background. It was a TV show / thing, and it was fine. But who wants to be Master Chief, Andre? That you don't show you never show the person's face. It's like Dread. You're not supposed to know who Master Chief is. So
Yeah, but it's like the Mandalorian. You need a voice.
like
but Andre hates that the most about the Mandalorian. Andre complains the most that he's like never takes off the helmet. He's like,
people are comparing the Mandalorian, saying, "Oh, it's a Western, and a Western's all about seeing the eyes." The Master Chief is an embodiment of an ideal, right? So yeah, you don't need to know who is under that helmet because, as the game, you're supposed to be the Master Chief. But just the world of Halo and the stories, like for them to say that's hard, like then they don't understand their property, and then
no, I think Andre, this is honestly, so at this point, it's the James Cameron situation. It's like it's so expensive to do Halo because it's a huge science fiction world.
Did you see Ready Player One?
Yeah, but you know how much money that Ready Player One, like
exactly,
it's a huge endeavor. It's not. It's
make money.
And then again, how do you? It's such a huge story. How do you encompass enough in it, though, satisfy people?
Well,
because
there is a TV show, but they are doing a live action TV show right now.
Yeah, and they've done live action stuff, but it's just not. It's not of the caliber. Like yeah, I know they have to put a lot of eggs in the one basket, but again, if they're gonna go on these other properties and spend a ton of money, like this has everything built in. Like if the pitch,
but it's too much, Andre. It's too much built in. It's like Warcraft. There's too much storyline. There's too much stuff. You're trying to cram everything in.
Listen.
They don't
have How come there's not too much storyline for the Marvel universe when there's how many?
Because they cherry pick things, and then you yell at them because they don't pick the right things to cut and paste.
But dude, that's the same thing for Halo. You could do a Halo ODST movie. You could do the Halo Reach game. You don't have to do the whole goddamn thing.
Andre, just be happy they haven't butchered Halo because you'll be complaining about that too.
They butchered the game. Like Halo 5 was bad, but I'm just saying, like as a thing, they could have done it.
They could just cast Robert Downey Jr. as Master Chief, and then we'll just ruin that for you.
It off.
He's still in it, so maybe he'll ruin it for you still.
That's true.
So maybe we can.
Pablo Schreiber has been cast as Master Chief.
Don't know who that is.
Yeah.
He was. Well, did you ever watch The Wire?
No.
Okay.
Wow. The Wire. Right. That's another. So John, maybe we can get Johnny Favreau to show run the Halo show, and we can get the trifecta.
Thanks.
That's what we want next. Or JJ can also executive produce. I just need all these things to work.
You want to ruin everything for me? Oh, okay. I know who he is.
Yeah. So
Showtime series. No, Pokemon was a video game first. Pokemon Red versus Blue, owned by Nintendo, and then got adapted into a card game. So Stu was right.
Okay.
I'm going back to Detective Pikachu.
When did the Pokemon video game come out, though? It must have come out overseas first.
Japan.
Yeah, it's like Japan.
Sure. Yeah, we had Pokemon,
but it's owned. Like
Pokemon
is owned by Nintendo.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with Detective Pikachu then. Screw you guys.
Warcraft was a good pick, though.
Yeah. But Detective Pikachu, I can actually rewatch Detective Pikachu and enjoy it.
Yeah, but that's because of Ryan Reynolds.
That's pretty much all the movies with Ryan Reynolds. I can watch it because of him. It's
Van Wilder.
Van Wilder.
Harold and
Kumar. Deadpool. Wolverine Origins. He has a few moments of fun in that one.
Get out of here.
He's in a couple rom-coms. Just Friends. Remember that one? Just Friends. Ryan Reynolds.
He can cameo.
No, he was full in that movie where he was in the fat suit. And then where was the other one?
I'm talking about the Wolverine trifecta movie.
Yeah, and then he was in the Proposal with Sandy B. So
that's right.
That was another where she played a Canadian. So there we go. We go to Alaska. That was a good one. Okay, so now we're going to guilty pleasures. So Rob.
I almost want to pick Mortal Kombat just to screw Mortal Kombat again.
Mortal Kombat 2, Annihilation.
Okay, actually, you know what? I was gonna go.
That's unwatchable.
I was gonna go with one that I mean that I used to watch a lot when I was many years ago. But I've actually changed it up. I'm gonna go with one that came out recently in the last 2 years, I think, and only because my son loves watching this movie, and it's actually not bad. It's a typical rock movie, so I'm kind of giving a bit of a of a hint here.
Oh, Rampage.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I mean, like, you know, it's you know, you throw it on and it's not your, until the very end, it's not your typical video game type movie until you know, the monsters start kind of going at each other. But yeah, man, I mean, it's enjoyable enough that when he throws it on Netflix and he watches it again and again, I'm not like banging my head against the wall, right? So I'm gonna go with it's actually quite enjoyable. I'm gonna go with Rampage as my guilty pleasure just because we've seen it so many times.
Honestly, if your son was older, I would have went with Doom, because he was also in Doom.
But I did not like Doom. I thought it was horrible.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, that was really bad. So yeah, Rampage, man. Rampage is it actually is a decent movie.
Yeah. No. It has moments. It's very rockified. So there's a lot of rock moments where he's just doused in cocoa butter and.
And I think my son, he loves it. The fact that the giant ape gives the finger a couple of times, right? Or he does other hand gestures. He does other hand gestures, and my son, an 11-year-old boy, is like, ah, right? So yeah.
They were just missing the fart joke that was in Dr. Dolittle with Robert Downey Jr. The fart jokes was always missing.
So yeah,
good pick. Great pick. John, let's get ready for comedy here.
Okay, so Doom almost made the list because I don't know if you remember this line is like the best line of all movies, period.
Where they talk about the guns and the thing?
No, where the Rock, like the doctor is gone evil and Rosalind Pike, the girl, is like, oh, we got to cure him. And the Rock is like, his condition is irreversible as his condition is. And then he takes a gun and shoots him in the head. His condition is he's dead. It's like the greatest line ever. I was like, man, the Rock is killing this. Like, underrated gem. But
was that Rock with hair in that movie? Was that?
No, it was completely shaved. Yeah.
Was it shaved?
He was very skinny though. Like,
I thought he had a little bit of hair. I think he was before he went.
He's completely shaved. It looks like he's kind of
shaved. Do some photos over this. I think there's like, this is before his hairline did the Houdini. So yeah.
But my actual pick.
Wait a second. That was your joke pick?
Yeah, no, I said almost made.
Come on.
I haven't been able to watch that since the first time I watched it. I remember me and my brother like rented it or whatever because my brother loves The Rock, and we watched it and put it on, and it was. Oh no, you're right. He does have hair.
Yeah, he's got some hair.
This is The Rock with a little bit of. This is when there was.
Yeah, it's on the back. Yeah.
Yeah,
We rented it. My brother loves The Rock, and we couldn't. I don't even think I got to the end of it. I kind of like walked away, but that line was freaking hilarious. So my actual pick is,
John,
since I've got a photo ready,
John, brutal.
It's got to be Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme
and Raul Julia. It's so sad that was his last movie.
No, he delivered an amazing.
I actually like that movie a lot. It would have been probably ahead of Warcraft. Because I remember that movie so vividly watching it in theater. I think I saw that one 2 times.
We know all the lines, you know, who wants to go home and who wants to go with me? And then Bison whips out an arcade joystick and starts shooting bombs at his guy. And Kylie Minogue was in it for no reason. And then Blanca.
She was Cammy, damn it.
Turns into Blanca. It was ridiculous.
It was horrible, is what you want to say.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
Dr. Dalcine.
I own it.
Charlie was there, you know.
Yeah, Charlie turns into Dalcine, I think, right?
No,
Charlie turns into Blanca.
Yeah, this is the Clockwork Orange moment where his eyes are wide open and he's watching war films.
This is what I never understood though. Is that game is that you saw Bison at the end. It was always like big and powerful and rocking a 1980s mom blazer with the shoulder pads. But then you get Raul Julia as Bison. You're like, wait a minute, what?
Who killed it? He killed it.
Yeah, I think unfortunately,
Bison dollars. He had the money with Bison's face on it, and he went to pay. There was a comedian that played DJ. I forgot what his name is, and he just like, what the hell is this shit? And he didn't fight. He just like left at the end. He was like, yeah, I'm out of here.
He was a computer guy. Yeah.
I forgot who he was, but
there was the quintessential E Honda versus Zangief scene where they're stepping on the little
on the
Godzilla thing. That was my favorite moment. Like that is truly not a cringe moment. I was like, I love it so much where they're jumping on Bison's like little, I guess, miniature town. It was basically the version of spoiler alert for Hot Fuzz when they start fighting on the miniature village at the end of it. But
I will say though, the anime movies of Street Fighter were amazing. Those killed it. I'd watch those any day of the week.
That anime movie was rough. I think a lot of us in our pre-pubescent moment really appreciate the Chun-Li shower scene a little, probably too much than others.
It got edited.
It got edited. One of those moments where every kid when they were young, they're like, what is happening? And then there's like,
I remember though, they infused all the North American music, right? They had like rock songs and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Yeah. It looked amazing though.
Yeah, this is not the first time that someone's talked about the Chun-Li shower scene, so we'll leave it like that. It had its moments. And Raul Julia, he was like suffering cancer, like he was physically dying.
He was really thin. Yeah, he was really thin. Yeah,
like he could barely walk and stand at that standpoint, but he did it because his sons loved the video game, so like his kids loved it. So I'm like,
he killed it. He crushed it.
All right, he was the only one that could do the fine line between like comedy and like this is serious. So his lines were awesome. Okay, that is acceptable, John. I can't believe that was that could have been the number one pick for an actual movie, better than Need for Speed. That movie is better than Need for Speed. So I question everything you say at this standpoint. Andre, what do you got?
So my guilty pleasure, pick any of the
Resident Evil
movies.
They're pretty bad, Andre.
Hey, confession, I've never seen any of them.
What?
Later on, they get really bad.
Marathon those. What's her name again?
They get really, really bad.
What's her name?
Mila Jovovich?
Mila Jovovich. Okay, listen.
Resident Evil? Any of them?
Every Resident Evil on Blu-ray. I've seen all the ones except for the first one in the theater. I even saw the 3D one in the theater, and the 3D was amazing. So I like
the axe is coming at you. Watch out!
The movies are so bad compared to the video game, but there's just something about them. Like, listen, Mila Jovovich, she's great. She freaking she tried in those roles. She actually got better as the movies got worse.
Mm-hmm.
There was a movie where she was.
They got really bad.
It was like
There's
3 or
6
4
movies.
Oh yeah,
they got really bad.
Yeah.
Those last 2 really bad.
Saw them all. Yeah.
Dude, you can get all 6 on iTunes for $30.
Probably find them
$5 a movie.
I would say wait till it goes for $20. A little bit more. $30 is the spicy meatball. That's a little too much.
You don't want to spend your $30 and then don't have access to them when they lose the rights. So just buy them physically. You'll.
No, but so any of them, you don't even have a preference for which one you would watch first?
I own all of them. I've watched them all multiple times.
Pick one. What's the one?
First one, then. First one is probably the best one.
The first one, you know what though? That's the bad thing. The first one is actually probably like the best one because it's very
Michelle Rodriguez, right?
Toronto, by the way. So that was cool. Let's go with.
He's gonna consult his wall.
Resident Evil.
They're really bad.
Desert. The one in the desert, that one was really bad.
That was Extinction.
Yeah.
Right?
Extinction. And the one after it, when they tried to bring in all the other old characters.
Yeah, and they tried to reboot it. Yeah.
That was
everyone came back.
John, that was their Fast and the Furious.
Was terrible.
That was they brought in everyone from the past. They're like, you like
Michelle Rodriguez, everybody.
Boom, he's back, baby. Like this is what they brought everyone together.
Yeah.
So I think he was Carlos. Oh, that's fair. Anyways, yes. So okay. So which one is it, Andre? You pick
Extinction.
Okay.
The 4th one or whatever. Yeah.
So I will give you my pick, and this is gonna shock the world by how much I love this movie in terms of a guilty pleasure. John, can you imagine what this movie is?
If you say Mortal Kombat Annihilation,
no. I have one.
That is the roughest.
I have one that's even worse.
That is the roughest.
Super Mario Brothers?
No, worse.
Double Dragon. Are you gonna say Double Dragon?
Worse.
With
no,
Vanilla
worse.
Ice is the bad guy.
I have a movie that I watched for one person and one person alone. I think.
Oh, I know what this is.
What?
You're gonna pick Tomb Raider, aren't you?
Nope. Nope. I think he's a tour de force on how bad and how good. He's like a poor man's Nicolas Cage. He is in this movie.
Cage is a poor man's Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage won an Oscar. Damn it! Don't you besmirch the name of Nicolas Cage. So you don't get to you make a level when you win an Oscar. That's it. You get to you can do no wrong. You get you can do whatever you want. So
Okay.
Bad Lieutenant, Port New Orleans, underrated movie. It's great. And he get a pass for the Ghost Rider movies because he was fantastic in them.
Oh.
I remember watching that movie Ghost Rider 2 with Justin in the movie theater, and we were just cackling in the background, having the best time in our lives.
That was okay.
Laughing at
When
how
Ghost Rider was all
ridiculous-
demented.
Yeah,
He's like,
and that just him and Stringer Bell. We had Idris Elba on that movie where he plays like a subsect of a religious monk. So stupid. I think that movie was all filmed in Romania, so that's all you need to know about that movie. But the movie I'm talking about is a prequel to John's movie, and that is Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li.
You're gonna.
Oh, you
that's
watched it for Chris and
unwatchable.
Crook, didn't you?
No,
Unwatchable.
I watched it because
Unwatchable.
Chris Klein
Unwatchable.
was so bad. You're gonna watch a supercut of him just as fermenting. He is Charlie Nash. So he is Charlie. I'm coming for you, Charlie. I'm coming for you, Bison. Charlie. He is Charlie. He is unbelievably awful in that movie. It's so bad.
It had a guy from the Black Eyed Peas as Vega, right?
Yep.
Taboo or
thank you,
something.
for-
Yeah.
as Vega.
Oh man, it
Michael
was bad.
Clark Duncan was Balrog. That had that moment. Who else was? And then Keith McNaughton or whatever from Band of Brothers / he was Bison. So
Unwatchable.
it is rough on so many levels, but there's something about Chris Klein / Kristen Crook just going out there hamming it up for a movie that I find hilarious. It is.
I've never seen it. I'm proud to say I remember the trailer of that dropping, and I was like, no.
This was back in the magical time of 2009. So this is, if you think about it, that wasn't that long ago.
No.
So,
I've watched a lot of crap from Tekken 1 to 2 to Dead or Alive. Actually, Dead or Alive was probably the top of that crap pile. King of Fighters.
yep.
But I've never been able to get through Chun-Li.
And Robin Shu, who was
Luke
in
Cage? Luke Cage?
no, Robin Shu was in Mortal Kombat. What was he? He was
He was Liu Kang.
Liu Kang. He plays
Yeah, he was the main. Yeah,
he plays
the main
Jen
character,
in this Street Fighter 2. So he plays double duty as an old man who teaches Chun-Li how to fight. So there's a montage, a bunch of stuff. This is great. It's all good. This is the first movie with a lot of Asian representation. So this is the OG Crazy Rich Asians. So take that.
Well, I can't say anything about that, so okay.
It's unwatchable. Yes, it's unwatchable. But this one, at least they cast Asian people in the movie, unlike in Dragon Ball Z, where they're like, let's just cast some random non-Asians as Goku.
Or like Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson.
That one.
It had Chow Yun-Fat in it.
Yeah, they had they worked it out. At least they made sense of why that worked in that movie.
Look at this original cover for this crap. Like, that was trash. And then they tried to redux it.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah. Again,
That's much worse.
This is a guilty pleasure, not my number one pick. So,
No,
anyways,
it's unwatchable.
So I hope everyone enjoyed this nonsense. Please comment below with your picks of the three that we talked about today. Please share. Please continue to watch videos, subscribe, like, do all those things that those.
The Wolverine 3-pronged introduction into the Marvel universe.
It actually makes me want to vomit.
It's coming for you.
I actually feel nauseous.
Triple threat.
Every time you do that, I'm like, oh god.
Rob is slowly starting to come to grips with the Great Lake Avengers. He's like, you know what? More man. Not a bad
maybe
idea.
we'll call them West Coast Avengers first, and then they become the
Great Lake. You know what?
Avengers.
Tell me more about the superhero that can open doors. He can make doors that you can walk out of. He's a cooler version of Cloak. Because he doesn't have to wear a cloak. He can just wear a regular thing and open doors. So there we go. Andre, you're in. So we can go to the fine city of Minnesota. All right. You can move them somewhere else if you want. Great Lakes. You can move them to Ontario if you want. Make them anywhere where there's a Great Lake. It's a good time. Okay. So thank you all for however long this podcast is being with us today. We appreciate your support, and again, please, if you can, support Heroes World in any way possible when buying some merch, buying some stuff, helping them out in any shape you can.
Yeah, any local business, you know.
Any local business is great, or they'll ship. So send a message to John Andre. They'll figure something out. Thanks again, Rob, for
Thanks for
coming
having
by
us, guys.
and dealing with this ridiculousness.
Stealing my Mortal Kombat.
And next week, spoilers, we'll hopefully do our massive draft of D&D. So that is something that we will strive to do.
Yes.
Yeah, so D&D draft. So we'll get some people together, more than the 4 of us, and we'll go from there. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. See you later.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Everybody.
Bye.